Hello everybody, thought I'd start out the video today with me packing more orders. If you saw my live on Friday, I had packed some orders that came in last week. Now this is a totally new day and now I am packing more orders. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported. I hope you enjoy your garment labels, and for those who also ordered pins, enamel pins, and also ordered buttons as well. Again, I just thank you all for your continued support. And of course, I did want to shout out a few of the, everyone that they did place an order. I want to shout out Cecile, Paulette, Marcia, Marva, Yvette, Darlene, and Winifred. And a couple of you I will most certainly be seeing in February. So I thank you all again for your continued support. Just so you know, although the garment label pack of 15 is completely sold out, there are just a couple packs left of the pack of 7. So head on over to the website. At the time that I'm recording this, they are still available. But check the link in the description box. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. And before we get in today, make sure you head over to the community tab and cast your vote for the December subscriber pick. All right, everybody, let's get into this video. All right, so let's get into this thrift flip. So as you can tell by the title, obviously this is a thrift flip. This is the Love Notions Compost Robe. Now, I will not go into how I put it together. I did share that over on the Love Notions channel. There is a full review of the pattern. Some of the things that I did, I shared a couple tips. I'll share a couple tips here too as well. But if you want to see kind of the construction, a few things that I did, head over to the Love Notions channel. I will leave a link also to that video down in the description box of this video. And so, but I had to come in because I know everybody may not have seen that, and if you want more details, obviously you're head over there. But I did want to bring it to the channel because you guys might remember when I talked about this fabric. Well, it's not fabric. It's a combination of. Let me untie Lady Dane here when I tell you I am in love. So first of all, I made this. For those who don't know, I am a brand ambassador for Love Notions patterns. So if you are interested in this pattern, you can get it for an additional 10% off. Actually, you can get any of their patterns for an additional 10% off using my code, which is SND445. I'll put that on the screen. I'll leave that in the description box as well. So if you are interested in this pattern or any others, feel free. When there are $5 pattern Fridays, when I post those, use my code to get an additional 10% off. SND445 will be the code through the end of the year. And it'll change in January. But anyway, so let's get into this. If you all remember, I went to the thrift store. This was in the summer. And remember, I had showed this fabric, not the Sherpa. This Sherpa is, this tan Sherpa is from JoAnn's, but the pattern material, that is a quilt from the thrift store that I thrifted back in, I feel like this was back in May or June, something like that. And I said, oh, I have plans for this later in the year. So this was the plan. I always knew this is what I wanted to do with that. And so I wanted to share with you what I made, again, just in case you missed it. So this won't be, I won't be before you long, but I wanted to share with you a couple complications I did have with putting this together. So first of all, I knew that I was going to combine two different fabrics. So one of the things, if you all have been following along on my thrift flip upcycle journey, I have a whole playlist for things I've done so far, which is not a lot. I think I've done the men's jacket, I've done the men's blazer with the women's denim jacket, I've done the upcycle skirt. I think that is it. I think I have 2 or 3 videos, so it's not a lot. So if you want to go see what I've done to date, go check it out. This will be in there as well. But I knew in this whole journey of thrifting, upcycling items, there are certain things that I just, to me, there's a little bit extra. Not that you can't do this when you're creating a garment from scratch, but maybe deconstructing something to make it into something else, or turn, or or do something different. I feel like there's so much extra freedom around that. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. For my thrifters, for my upcyclers, for my thrift flip ones out there, let me know your thoughts on that. Now, I have, and I don't know if this is necessarily true or not, this is just how I think about it. Thrift flip to me is different from upcycling. And so thrift flip for me is a piece like this, where I took a quilt, which was the pattern item fabric, and I combined it with yardage, regular yardage of fabric. And so I combined this particular piece from the thrift store with this Sherpa that I purchased from JoAnn Fabrics. And ooh, when I purchased this from JoAnn Fabrics, I feel like the Sherpa was like 40% off. I actually was going to do purple. This was meant to be purple and tan. Well, one, I didn't have enough of the purple, but then two, as I was looking at it more, I felt like the purple that's in this particular design, it didn't necessarily mesh very well. So I figured, let me go with a different one and a different color Sherpa, because I know I wanted the Sherpa. I wanted something really nice and soft. I wanted to make this because I have and I'm not going to show it to you, but I have, maybe we all have this, a robe that I have been wearing for 15, 20 years maybe. And when I tell you that thing is raggedy, the zipper, I've had to and it's a ready to wear. I remember, I think I bought it from Kohl's department store many, many years ago. And the zipper then came off, different stuff, got a couple holes in it, but I kept wearing it because I got just comfortable. And so here's my new comfy home robe. Plus, okay, so the compost robe comes in up to a size 5XL, and it has the full bust option. I went up a size. I went up to a 3X. Now the Sherpa does have a little bit of a stretch in it, not a ton, just ever so slightly. And the quilt has no stretch in it. And so the pattern is made for woven or knit. So depending on which fabric you make it in, and if you want it to be oversized like I do, and you'll see pictures and video pop up, determines the size that you want to make. But I wanted mine to be nice and cozy, because for me, again, I'm in Texas. For those who do not know, I'm in the Houston area, and so it doesn't get like frigid, and if it does get really cold, like in the 30s and stuff like that, it only lasts a couple days for the winter. Nothing significant, right? But regardless to that, I knew that I wanted this to be extra cozy, so I can, if I'm cold in the house and maybe we don't have the heat on, or it's not up particularly high or anything like that, we still don't have our heat on, but so at night, if it gets I feel a little chilly, this is like perfect. I can just wrap myself up in it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the compost robe is so easy to make. The other thing I want to say about the compost robe, it comes with a head wrap pattern that's included in the compost robe pattern, so which is nice. So if you I wouldn't mind actually making that out of a microfiber fabric for natural hair, but I go to the salon. I only wash my own hair now very infrequently, and because I go to get it done. But I wouldn't mind using that pattern because it looks real, like super easy to make in the microfiber material for my natural hair. I wouldn't make it for me in like a cotton or anything like that, but something that's more suitable for my hair type. But that's really nice that comes with the pattern. So you can make that to match your robe if you so choose. But I will say, I thought I was going to have more of the quilt to do a little bit more than I anticipated. And because I did not, I decided, okay, what were the key places I needed the main fabric to show? And for me, that was the front, the back, and that was it. Because the hem at the bottom, well, the band at the bottom, I kind of created that and made it to be wider because I didn't have enough fabric anyway to go the length that I wanted, and I wanted the full length. I wanted this thing as long as it could go. And so I just made the area at the bottom, and you'll see it in the pictures. I wanted that to be deeper. Now, the only thing with the Sherpa, I will say it is soft on the top and on the right and the wrong side of the fabric. When I tell you, absolutely love it. Now, here's the thing. Cutting this out, you will get Sherpa everywhere. And whatever you make, until you wash it and kind of blow the coat, as they say, of it to get all of that initial poof out of there, you're gonna have, you know, Sherpa following you around the house and all of that good stuff. The other thing is, because the robe requires this band that goes all the way around, you would normally serge it. So it calls for 3/8 inch seam allowance, so you can serge all these pieces and whatnot. But because this Sherpa is so thick, and then the quilt, I wouldn't say the quilt is overly thick, but it's thick enough because I serged the whole thing, right? But when it got to be where I needed to, because the band is folded over on itself, and then you attach it to the outer of the piece here. And so that's what, 3 layers. And like I said, the quilt is a little bit thick. And so with all those layers together, I was not running that through my serger. It was too thick. So I just stitched it all the way around, and it looks fine. And obviously, who is going to see that? And if my husband said, he wouldn't know the difference anyway. But right. But I absolutely love how this turned out. Like I said, everything on the inside is absolutely serged. I do like the detail I did on the pocket. Let me see if I can bring my camera so you can see that. See, I for the pocket, so this is all the right side and this the wrong side. I make sure when I put the pocket on, I flip that top over. I kind of did it the opposite way that you would normally do the pocket, just because I wanted to have the little flip. So that's the inside, the wrong side. But I wanted just a top of that piece to show on the outside. So I do love how that looks. But like I was saying, on the inside, if you can tell, you probably can't really tell, but it's a lot of layers. And I was not running that through my serger because it was already tough running a lot of this through the serger. Like I said, most of it is serged. It's just I wasn't going to risk the neckline running that through the serger because I saw how difficult it was. So you all have to let me know what you think of my thrift flip. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And for me, as I had started saying, I don't think I completed my thought. The difference for me between thrift flip and upcycle. So a thrift flip to me is I am a piece that's already as one. So for this particular project, it's the quilt. And all I did was flip it to turn it into something totally different, which is this compost robe. Now, I know that can probably apply to upcycling, but that's just in my mind how I kind of keep the projects separate. So the upcycle to me is what I did for the denim skirt, how I changed the denim jeans into the skirt, and then how I upcycled the men's blazer and the women's denim jacket, combine them together to make a vest. So I don't know, that's just how I think of it. May not be technically the way most people might think of upcycling versus thrift flipping, or if they think they're one and the same. I don't know, but that's how I personally think about these projects. And so I am super happy with how this has turned out. And yeah, I would obviously highly recommend the pattern because it's so easy to put together. I think it only took me a couple hours to put it together, maybe a little longer, only because, and I only say that because when I realized how thick all of this was, once I put it together, the neckband around the neckline, I went real slow. Even though I didn't use my serge on that part, I used my machine, I still went really slow. Definitely use your walking foot. At the time I made this, I misplaced my walking foot. I don't know what, but I found it. I've since found it. But definitely use your walking foot on these thicker fabrics. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I want to thank you all again for those who have purchased. Again, there are just a few, at the time I'm recording this, might not be the case. There are just a couple packs of the 7-pack left that are $5 each. So head on over to the website, and thank you for those who purchase other things, buttons and enamel pins. I appreciate it. I thank you all for your support. Stay tuned for Sunday. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday for those who are new at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. But I thank you all for your support. I thank you for tuning in today. You all have a blessed start to your December, and we will, oh, don't forget, head over to the community tab and vote, because I will have what pattern won that was selected on Sunday's video. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a good one. Bye.